Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel Zulfakar Saadi, the Constitutionalist. So today we will be discuss about Cobalt Commission. So this Cobalt Commission is made, the name is the report of the Commission of Inquiry, North Borneo and Sarawak in 1962. So this is a Commission of Inquiry. So this is what we call Cobalt Commission. Oops, happened. So this is what we call Cobalt Commission. So today we will look at the introduction of the Cobalt Commission. What information can we get from the introduction of the Cobalt Commission? So let us look at the introduction of Cobalt Commission. So they have how many paragraph? Paragraph 1 until paragraph 9. So they have paragraph 1 until 9 is in the introduction of Cobalt Commission. So let us look at the paragraph number 1. The idea of political association between Malaya, Singapore, and the three Borneo territories of North Borneo, Sarawak, and Brunei has been discussed for many years. So the idea of Malaysia have been discussed for many years. The initial idea of Malaysia has been discussed many years. I think it started even in the 1950. The political association of these British territories of Malaya, Singapore, North Borneo, Sarawak, and Brunei has been discussed, but it has never come about, never come to fruition because of many reasons. So the discussion is there already. The British already think about this idea. So this is actually a British idea. At that time, they doesn't call it Malaysia, they call it Greater Malaysia. The initial name is like Greater Malaysia. I don't know, there is a lot of name at that time about Malaysia, but the idea is already there, proposed by the British for many years. Now we look at paragraph 2. On the 27 May 1961. So we look at the date here, 27 May 1961. This is 2 years, more than 2 years before the formation of Malaysia. The Prime Minister of the Federation of Malaya, Tunku Abdul Rahman, in a speech at a press luncheon in Singapore, spoke favorably about the practical possibility of such an association. Possibility of such association, which is this one just now. Political association between Malaya, Singapore, North Borneo, Sarawak, and Brunei. Tunku Abdul Rahman constructive proposal were welcomed by the British government. Of course, the British support, because this is their idea for many years. Why did the British welcome the idea of Malaysia? Why the British is not the one propose Malaysia to the people of Malaya, Singapore, North Borneo, Sarawak, and Brunei? There is a reason. British give support instead of them making the proposal. They let the local people, Tunku Abdul Rahman. They let the local people to come out with this idea themselves, to propose Malaysia by themselves. So there is a reason for this one, where the British is acting as if they are supporting this idea, but actually they are the one that have this idea. They are the one that give this idea to the people. in Malaya, Singapore, Not Borneo, Sarawak and Brunei. And the one that picked up this idea is Tunku Abdul Rahman. He is one of the people that picked up this idea for political association of all the British territories in Southeast Asia. And then why British do this, something like this, is the British learn their lesson in Africa, where when they make the Central African Federation, the federation fell. Why? Because the idea come from the British. They imposed the idea of the federation to the people in Africa without consulting the people in Africa. When that happened, the African people, they just accept that kind of federation without knowing how destructive that is. The federation for the people of Africa, because the culture and how they perceive the political association and economic benefit of all the region in that federation in Africa is destructive. That's why the federation in Africa fell, because the British imposed that federation to the people. But in Malaysia, by learning their lesson in Africa, the British try to give this idea of Federation of Malaysia indirectly, and then when there is a local people pick up this idea, they quickly support it, so that they make as if the idea come from the people themselves, so that easily the people will accept the idea of Malaysia if the idea come from the local people themselves. So that is the strategy by the British to ensure that the people will accept the idea and proposal of Malaysia by indirectly putting Tunku Abdul Rahman to propose as a local people in the Borneo territories of British colonies at the time, so that the people in Sabah, Sarawak, Brunei, Singapore and Malaya will listen to their own people around this Southeast Asia. And then we continue. And it was announced on the 13th October that he had accepted an invitation to come to London in November 1961 for discussion with the object of reaching an understanding on the broad issue and to prepare the way for consultation with the Borneo territories, without which no commitment could be entered into. So May until November, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 7 months. So there is 7 month gap here. If you look at the declassified document, there is actually so many interaction between British and Malaya. At one time, Tunku Abdul Rahman want to go to London himself without waiting for invitation, because he want to propose the version of Malaysia that Federation of Malaya want for Malaysia. But the British try to hold Tunku Abdul Rahman. They make their own plan, and then they invite Tunku Abdul Rahman to London in November 1961, so that the British are well prepared before Tunku Abdul Rahman come to London, so that they can reach understanding on the broad issue. What is the issue? The broad issue, general issue, not very specific constitutional issue at this time. They try to discuss about Malaysia, what kind of Malaysia they want to create, what is the state of Malaysia, what the requirement to form the Federation of Malaysia, what happened to the British civil service in Sabah and Sarawak if the federation come about, what is the framework of the formation of Malaysia will be discussed in November 1961. And then the British also prepare the way for consultation with the Borneo territories, without which no commitment could be entered into. So this is very important. Consultation. So during this invitation and discussion with the Federation of Malaya, the British discussed with Malaya on making a consultation, which is a Cobalt Commission. This is a Cobalt Commission. Later on, it will become Cobalt Commission. 1962. Cobalt Commission come about in 1962. But this is when they discuss about the formation of consultation with the Borneo territories. This is in 1961. So they discuss first how they want to make a consultation with the Borneo territories and why the British want to make a consultation first. They want to ascertain the view of the people in Borneo territories on Malaysia. They don't want to impose again here, just like initially they don't want to impose the idea of Malaysia. The British don't want to be the one that impose the idea of Malaysia. First, they let Tunku Abdul Rahman, the local people, to propose the idea of Malaysia, because indirectly actually they told Tunku Abdul Rahman to propose this idea, and then Tunku Abdul Rahman said it in Singapore, and then they make a consultation. They want to make a consultation, which is a usual practice by the British with their colonies. Usually they will make a consultation because what they learn from their mistake in Myanmar, their mistake in Africa, in India, when they doesn't make consultation, the colonies crumble. There is war. There is a lot of bad thing happen. So afterward, they learn how to decolonize, how to make a proper decolonization. They make a consultation, like in other British colonies in Africa, in the Caribbean, in the Mediterranean. They make consultation so that what kind of decolonization process that will be achieved by each of the colonies will be by the people themselves. So they make a consultation. So in this consultation for Cobbold Commission later on, actually no commitment could be entered into. In this Cobbold Commission, actually there is no commitment on Malaysia. No commitment. No commitment at all to form Malaysia. Sabah and Sarawak still not committed to form Malaysia. What happened is that Cobbold Commission only ascertain the view of the people. They just want to collect information. The more data you have about Malaysia from the people in Sabah, Sarawak, and Brunei and Singapore about the formation of Malaysia, the more information the British have, the more assessment and recommendation, the more proper assessment and proper recommendation they can come out about to form a Federation of Malaysia. And then we look at number 3, paragraph 3. Okay, here. In the meantime, on the 23rd August 1961, broad agreement had been reached in principle between the Prime Minister of the Federation of Malaya and Singapore for a merger of the two territories. A memorandum setting out head of agreement for the proposed merger. Again, merger was published as a Singapore White Paper on the 15th November 1961. So, the third paragraph are talking about Singapore. And when Singapore form Malaysia, they are merger with Federation of Malaya. Compare with Sabah and Sarawak, when we form Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak federated in the form of integration based on UN Resolution 1541. But for Singapore, they are merger. Still under UN Resolution 1541, but the form of their integration is merger. And they make a head of agreement. Because in 1957 to 1963-61 at that time, Singapore still feel themselves as Malaya. That is the sentiment on the ground at that time. All Singaporean, they know, they also eventually want to be part of the Federation of Malaya. And the British also acknowledge that it is their mistake to separate Singapore from the rest of the Peninsula Malaysia at that time. So the sentiment that Singapore will be eventually merged together with the Federation of Malaya is still there. It's still very strong at that time. And it is a very logical thinking at that time that Singapore will eventually merge with the Federation of Malaya. Even Singapore in 1960, they call themselves Malaya. They don't call themselves Singapore. They don't call themselves Singaporean. That's Singaporean is come about later when they gain independent. Before that one, Singaporean call themselves Malaya because they still have the sentiment that they are part of Malaya. So Singapore and Federation of Malaya at that time they talk about merger, a merger of these territories of Federation of Malaya and Singapore based on the head of agreement. Head of agreement is similar with when Federation of Malaya agreement 1957. All Perlis, Pahang, Kedah, Kelantan merged to become Federation of Malaya based on the head of agreement. The same thing with Singapore. They want to merge and based on the head of agreement. So it is some kind how they want to do it is still not clear at this time. It is still a broad agreement has been reached in principle. So Singapore already have broad agreement in principle, but Sabah and Sarawak at this time there is still no commitment. There is no agreement in principle for Sabah and Sarawak when we reach a Cobot Commission. But Singapore already agree in principle on the broad agreement. And then we look at paragraph number 4. The London discussion were held from the 20 to 23rd November 1961. An joint statement by the British and the Malayan governments was issued on the 23rd November 1961. An extract from the text of the joint statement is reproduced below. So this joint statement is very important for the formation of Malaysia. One of the historical moment in the formation of Malaysia, joint statement. And this first discussion from 20 to 22 up to 23 November, this is what we call London Talk. London Talks 1. There is 3 London Talks. First, London Talks 1 before Cobot Commission. London Talks 2 after Cobot Commission. After Cobot Commission and before IGC report. And then London Talks 3 after IGC report. So we have 3 London Talks. We call it London Talks. So easy we can understand what happening historically, tentatively during the formation of Malaysia. So this is London Talks, and during this London Talks, what has been reached is the joint statement. So let us read in this one. They make extract here in the Cobot Commission here. In a series of meetings in London this week, British and Malayan minister examined the proposal to create a Federation of Malaysia, which would embrace the Federation of Malaya, Singapore, North Borneo, Sarawak, and Brunei. So they want to create a new federation. See, it's apostrophe here. Specifically, a new federation. Create, not expand Federation of Malaya, to create. What happened? They want to create this new Federation of Malaysia. So in this Federation of Malaysia, there will be Federation of Malaya, Singapore, North Borneo now is Sabah, Sarawak, and Brunei. So we have initially 5 members of the Federation of Malaysia have been proposed during London Talks 1. So they want to create a new Federation of Malaysia, not expand Federation of Malaya. There is a lot of people out there, they purposely want to mislead other people. They said, oh, this is expansion of Malaya. No, you must look at this document, not look at what you are thinking. This is document that clearly said that they want to create a Federation of Malaysia. If that is clear, okay. And in the extract also, we look at the paragraph 2 of the extract of the joint statement. Oh, actually in this We look at the second. Second point in the extract of the joint statement, in the light of a full study of the problem, which has been going on for some months, the British and Malayan governments are convinced that this is a desirable aim. So actually the British finally able to influence the Federation of Malaya to form Federation of Malaysia. But at this time, the Malayan government have no idea about decolonization process. They think at this time, Tunku Abdul Rahman, they think that they can acquire the territories of Sabah, Sarawak and Brunei just like that. But it is not like that. The detail is not being given by the British for the Malayan at the time. Because the idea of the version of Malaysia by the Malayan is a bit different from the version of Malaysia that the British want to create. And the British at this time, they are in a precarious situation. The British need to decolonize the territories as soon as possible. They need to decolonize the territories as soon as possible. So they need Federation of Malaya to take the responsibility to decolonize Singapore, North Borneo and Sarawak. Now we look at number 3, and they were able to convince Federation of Malaya to achieve their aim to form Federation of Malaysia. Now we look at number 3 of the extract from the joint statement. The minister took note with satisfaction of the head of agreement recently negotiated between the governments of Malaya and Singapore for the merging of the state of Singapore with the Federation. With the merging, so there is a head of agreement. So this is the issue of between Federation of Malaya and Singapore, because Singapore still feel that they need to be part of the Federation of Malaya. So there is a head of agreement between government of Malaya and Singapore for the merging. So how Singapore form Malaysia is through merging with the Federation of Malaya. And then number 4 here, before coming to any final decision, it is necessary to ascertain the view of the people of North Borneo and Sarawak. It has accordingly been decided to set up a commission to carry out this task and to make recommendation. The commission will be composed of a chairman and a 4 member, 2 nominated by the British and 2 by the Malayan government. In the light of the commission report, the 2 governments will decide what further step should be taken. So the terms of reference of the commission are attached at Annex A. So number 4 is important for Sabah and Sarawak, because in the London Talks 1, there is a lot of agreement between Sabah, British and Malaya at that time about who should become the commission member and how many commission member and who will be appointed as chairman. There's a lot of discussion between Federation of Malaya and the British if you look at the declassified document. But we stick with this report just now. So the British want, the final decision is that Sabah Federation of Malaya also agree, British also agree that the view of the people in North Borneo will be ascertained. So the view of the people will be ascertained on how to, and then based on the view, the commission will make a recommendation. Based on this recommendation, the British will think about what is the further step will be taken to form Malaysia. The view can be anything. The view from the people of North Borneo and Sarawak. Some people when they go to the commission in Sabah and Sarawak, some people, some organisation, some political party go to the commission, they give suggestion, they give letter, there is hearings, and there is they agree what they agree with Malaysia, they tell the commission. What they don't agree with Malaysia, they tell the commission what is the condition that they need to be incorporated in the formation of Malaysia, also being taught to the commission. And the question was raised by the people about Malaysia. All this view has been ascertained by the commission, and then the commission will come out with the recommendation, and based on this recommendation, and further step will be taken to form Malaysia. Not to ask, the Cobalt Commission is not to ask people you agree or not to form Malaysia. The commission is there to ascertain the view of the people. What do you think about Malaysia? That's all. It is open question. It's not question you agree or not to form Malaysia. No, a lot of people are mistaken about Cobalt Commission that way. Okay, now we look at number 5 here. At the same time, the view of the Sultan of Brunei are being sought. So Sultan of Brunei is a sovereign. So they have Brunei, they have their own agreement with the British. So anything that happen in Brunei must go to Sultan of Brunei lah, because he is the one that have a sovereign over the Brunei. Brunei itself is still colonies. The Sultan is a sovereign. So that's why the British doesn't make a commission in Brunei. Instead, they get the view from the Sultan of Brunei on the formation of Malaysia. The British make a commission in Sabah and Sarawak because Sabah and Sarawak is the colonies of British, so they can make a commission directly. There is no government. The government at that time in Sabah and Sarawak also a government of the colonies of British. And then number 6, in regard to defense matters, it was decided that in the event of the formation of the proposed Federation of Malaysia, the existing defense agreement between the Britain and Malaya defense agreement should be extended to embrace the other territories concerned. It was, however, agreed that the government of the Federation of Malaysia will afford to the government of the United Kingdom the right to continue to maintain bases at Singapore for the purpose of assisting the defense of Malaysia and for Commonwealth defense, and for the preservation of peace in Southeast Asia. So this is another reason for the formation of Malaysia. The British, they need to leave their colonies. The British need to accelerate the decolonization process of their colonies. They need to leave as soon as possible because they don't have any money at that time. They have financial problem after World War II. So they need to leave as fast as possible, but as responsibly as possible. So they want to form Malaysia where they transfer the responsibility to the local people and the Federation of Malaya to guide the Sabah and Sarawak to achieve independence to the formation of Malaysia. So in this Federation of Malaysia, because this is a geopolitics at that time, they want the British also want to maintain their bases in Singapore against the communist threat from South Vietnam, from China, something like that. So they want to maintain their defense in the Southeast Asia, and they want to maintain their influence geopolitics in Southeast Asia. So they want to still maintain their presence and maintain their presence at the base of Singapore. Okay, I think that's all for the introduction. This introduction is from Harold Macmillan. It was signed by Harold Macmillan, I think so. So this is not until 9 paragraph. This is only until 4th paragraph. 4th paragraph. So that is our discussion today for Pobot Commission. Thank you for watching.